What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first edition of these new segments of Bayou Gold Guy called Vendetta Monthly Gazette. And the Vendetta Monthly Gazette is going to be our monthly Patreon bag from Mike Vendetta, Vendetta Prospecting. It's the $25 Patreon. It comes with a bag of pay dirt every month. And as you can see, this month we're with the IQ Pay Dirt. So, is this a high IQ bag? We're gonna have to use some smarts to get through this one. So that'll be cool. So let's get into this and see. This will be a once a month. Actually, this feels like this might be a good example. Knock the tripod around. Might be a good example of why these heat seals are so good on these Ziploc bags, because it feels like the Ziploc might have popped on this one in transit. Yeah, it's open. I felt the dirt in the top between the seal when I opened it up. Oh my goodness. Look at that. First thing we see coming out of this bag is a bunch of silver on top. And that is crystallized silver. You know where that came from. We watched him make that himself. Let's go dry out this pan here. I've just been doing some rock tumbling today. I've got a new video that's in the works for the next batch of rocks with the Madagascar. Why is it so? Oh, I zoomed it in. The Madagascar stones I'd gotten in, and that sodalite and some other stuff. So I'm adding it. I'm letting it run. I added some more grit to it and letting it run for another 8 days. And check that out. That has that uber light look to it, like the rock that John our prospecting sent me. Look at all that silver, those pieces of silver coming out of that. My goodness. That is cool. The IQ Pay Dirt. This may be the first time you are seeing this one from the House of Vendetta. Oh, look at check out that piece there. That is a beautiful rod. Man, my tripod is just kinky as hell today for some reason. Look at that. That is some beautiful. Anytime I touch my thing, I'm moving it here. All right. Just look at that. This is grown out of his crystallized silver that he does on his channel that we've seen him make a couple of batches now. That last batch had some really nice long, but check that out. Beautiful. So I'm going to start another pan of just pulling out silver as we go on this. And like I said, I need to get a UV light so I can check out some of these rocks and some stuff, like I said, that John R. Prospecting has sent me. That's a very shiny piece of something there. So all right, man, that's going to be cool. Let's knock this out here. We'll get us a little classification, because we know it's going to be some small gold in this. And still look at those even smaller pieces of silver that are coming up in the, I don't know if you can see them now or not, but yeah, there's tiny silver showing up in that. And then all these nice pieces here. That's cool. There's another. Just look at that fuzzy crystallized piece. Very nice. A few of those very, very cool chunks. Look at that. Actually, I gave my buddy the jeweler a piece of these some of mine that I got from him of his silver, and he was using his silver wire that he does because he's a jeweler, and mostly he works with gold, but he makes jewelry for all kinds of things. And silver has silver rings he's done. I might even put a couple of them on here if y'all want to see about selling them for him, because he's an artist. But check that out. But yeah, he took his wire and made a couple little pendants out of them. First thing, little hanging pendants with these crystallized silver. So pretty neat stuff. So like I said, I gave him something to mess with to see what he could do with. So let's get some water set up and we'll be right back. Well, I went through and picked out all the big silver that I could get, and you can see that is a nice bit of silver in the bag here. So very cool, beautiful stuff. That will go in my Vendetta silver bottle that I have. There. So we've got. Oh, I've got it sitting. I keep it sitting on a block in the back to level it because my whole gold stand kind of goes back that way. So my pan's always unlevel. So there's still some silver, even smaller flakes in here that didn't go into the below kitchen strainer size, but we'll just see about recovering that when we're done. Boy, after that Texas dirt I just did from Cross Creek, this is like panning in a swimming pool. It's crystal clear and very clean rocks here. Mike must have washed these. I just watched this video with Doug Odette up there in Superstition Mountain. How cool is that, Doug? Up there living in the shadow of Superstition Mountain. That was one of my favorite pay dirts there, as far as an easy, nice pay dirt that Mike makes out as a Superstition bag that he adds. You know, you can get any variety of, except for Jimmy's secret spot. That one has gone the wayside. That look like it's got something sparkling in it. I guess that's just a nice piece of pyrite there, but I mean, it had I thought it had a little bit of gold there showing up in it, but we're gonna set that to the side because we like those chunks of pyrite. And you can see that silver does kind of stay in the bottom of the pan. But yeah, he was up there getting some buckets of dirt from Doug Odette and washing it, run it through his wash plant, basically his sluice, but showed him clean it all. It was a very cool video, and that's I think that's pretty cool. Those guys are close enough they can get a call and run over and yeah, I'm gonna make a run over to Doug's. I'm gonna make a run over to Mike's, see what's happening with the gold. But yeah, Doug's channel's growing. He's heading towards 100 pretty quick, so definitely check him out. Look at all that. Look at that silver still collecting in there. Actually, this may just be a silver bag. It may be an all silver bag. There may not be any gold in this. You never know. I don't know. I've never. It's only my second Patreon bag. That's why we're. People maybe wonder, well, why are you calling it the Vendetta Gazette? It's just that's strictly my own interpretation of Arizona and the old timey, the desert town, the old mining town, and the local papers, the whatever they call it, Dust Bowl Gazette or Tombstone Gazette. So we're calling this one the Vendetta, and it's monthly because of and we're bringing the news. We're bringing the Vendetta news to you. So again, this IQ pay dirt. I've never heard or seen this before. So let's see if we can get the rest of these washed back and scrape this silver out of here. It's very nice the way that silver is held up there and stayed at the top of the pan. I'd say thank you to Bobby in the basement. He was the winner for the Four Paws giveaway raffle that Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting and Nine Finger Mining had done, and I'd sent him my contribution was a bag of a bottle of the. I really felt bad he's doing it too because I realized there was no silver in it. I think I must have made that up when I was making up PAYDIRTs. I think I had used up the rest of my silver that I had, and I just hadn't gotten the new vial in yet. When I made his up, because I usually have enough. I put some silver in just about all of them now since I started getting silver, and I didn't see. It was hard. It was kind of hard to see on his, but I think he would have been saying if he was seeing the silver, it would have been enough to point out. But yeah, he had some issue with either with his download on his YouTube or something, but it was muted almost all the way through. I thought my sound was out, and I'm fucking with it. I put on something else. No, it's on. Well, I wasn't gonna do all that at one time, but I guess we can pour off some and see what we got in there. But yeah, man, I appreciate him. And yeah, I didn't. He did his finals away on the thing. Like I said, it was no sound, but yeah, I couldn't see the scale, so I didn't even remember. I think it was over 3/10. It said 3/10, but I believe it should have been. I usually go over everything I say, but I thank him for making the video for sure, and congratulations on the win. And that was cool for supporting Rocky Mountain Life and his project up there. I'm not really seeing any gold, so this, like I said, this may just be a silver bag. Which actually, that looks like a speck of gold showing up right there as I say that. But yeah, man, I'll take a big pile of silver like that. That's real nice. And this crystallized silver is not go for the price. Silver's down to it was hitting $19, $20 an ounce this week. This stuff is several times over that value when you're getting the crystallized. So yeah, we do have a speck of gold there at the top. I don't know if that's a stray that's in the naturally occurring, as they say. We will use our. I don't know if that's big enough to get by the tweezers. Yeah. Pick that one up and this one up. Yeah, like I said, I saw that piece of pyrite going through there, and it had a very gold look to it when you're looking at silver. Just like that right there, shining up very, very gold. I had those, I was out here doing the rock tumbling, and they just seemed still pretty rough. I'm using the new grit that I bought from online on Amazon that's different from what I'd used on the National Geographic batch of that came with the tumbler, or the northern stuff that I used that was the small little packets for $15 for 4 of them. Basically enough to barely do maybe one or two tumbles, I guess. But I checked it about 3 to 4 days in, and look at that, the nice shard of silver there. Pull that out right now, and added some more grit to it because again I've got the fast turning tumbler, so it eats it up pretty quick. And I still had grit holding in the bottom, a pretty good amount, so I added a little more and kept it running for another 4 days, for 8 days, and they just still seemed a little rough. I'm not rushing them like I did the last batch. I'm gonna let it grind these down to their smooth surfaces before we move on to even the second level grind. But yeah, here's a little. I'll cut in a little segment there showing them. The soda lights are pretty nice, and the big pieces of amethyst should make some cool stones when they're done. All right, well, I'm going to work this down. I'll be right back. Well, as it has for the last 12 days in a row or so now, the rain has begun again on me as I'm out here shooting this. I took too long. Had a little safety meeting while I was doing picking out that silver. But yeah, I've been sitting here panning this out, man. It's just like it's really moving slow. This is a silver bag. This is not a gold bag. This is a silver bag, but that black is just hanging. So I was thinking, well, actually, it looks like there's another little flake of gold in there. I think, well, let's go get the magnet and just see how much of this stuff is hematite and magnetite. You can see it picking it up, not even touching the water. It's pulling it out, and there we have it. And now we have a much cleaner pan of silver showing up here to deal with. So that's nice. I'll be pulling this out when we're done and adding it to my black sand collection. Damn, rain is really picking up. Now let's see if we got any silver trapped in this. Yeah, look, see that silver that was trapped in that stuff when it picked it up. That's what it does with gold. If you try to get this stuff, clean it out wet with a magnet. I've done it with a magnet many times, and I've never had a speck of gold when I went back through it and looked. But you can see how it picks it up as a carpet and pulls it with it as it holds to itself. And then there's a few flakes that it left that it didn't grab. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, I've never done a silver bag. So, yeah. So all right, well, I will continue. I just have to say, man, I love this magnet. There's everything out of I ran it through the big pan too. Man, and when you get a load like that on there, it's hard to pull this super magnet off of that stuff and separate it, because it grabs and holds it at the bottom like a, yeah, you can feel it pull it in tight as it pulls together. But look at that, nice batch of black sand Mike threw in there for us. So once all this is damn, that's hard. That's amazing. But yeah, once this all dries up, I will go through it and pull that out and add it to the pile. So now that all that has been separated and cleaned out, we should be able to pretty easily now wash the rest of this down from most of our silver. Look at all that, man. That's a nice bag of. Actually, it looks like we've got some gold, a little bit of fine gold up in the top too. As that was pulling down, I'm seeing some very fine gold. I wonder if that's naturally occurring gold that's in this IQ dirt. That would be really cool. But yeah, we definitely have some fine gold showing up in the bottom here with our stuff. So once you see gold, all you worry about is getting everything else out of the way. You go back for the silver when you're done. But the focus, it becomes the gold. And I am seeing, I don't know if y'all can make it out with the camera there, but we have got some super fine. Look at that stuff on the edge there. That's dust. I mean, that is gold dust right there. Very fine, where it just fans on down all the way down. So a cool little surprise in there at the end underneath all the silver. But I'm betting anytime you've got gold that is that fine in a material like this, I am betting that is what we're seeing is the naturally. That's some pretty good. That is a pretty good amount of natural gold showing up for that amount, for that size bag. That was a little bag. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sitting here standing over my phone trying to keep it dry. I wasn't paying attention. We're zoomed in. Sorry. But yeah, when you do a little shake there, you see it separate. Sweet. Silver and gold. A winning combination. And it's also got mica in here, so you got to watch out for the little shiny mica flakes that draw your eye away. But yeah, that gold down here is not, I'm tapping and tapping, it's not moving. It's just like that super fine stuff that we were doing yesterday with from Cross Creek and that Texas gold, which, like I said on that, the fine gold in that looked different from this kind of gold that I've gotten from Arizona or from gold nugget sales. Definitely had a different look to it, but this is, again, this is some of that fine scrape it off the bottom of the pan stuff that I would expect to find naturally occurring. So let's see if Mike will share that with us whenever we ask him. All right, well, I'm going to keep working this down. I didn't mean for this one to be that long. It's the Gazette. It's supposed to be brief. All right, there is our gold that's been cleaned out and snuffered out. I'm not sure if that'll measure on the scale even, but just the fact that we found that in what I said, I'm assuming naturally occurring in this area, is pretty damn cool. That's a nice amount of gold and some really fine. I've been working on this bag for over an hour and a half. You know, it's for a little bag, it's got take some time. So that's really cool stuff. And you can see there's some little chunkies to it there too. So, all right. And here we have our cleaned up silver, and as you can see, that is it's a nice batch of silver in this bag. Very cool, very challenging to go through with that black sand, and then finding that small gold in there with it. So we are in with our Vendetta Patreon bag cleanup. Here is our gold that we recovered out of it, and actually, there's still a little more black than I thought that made it through there, but it's like I said, it's just very fine little bit. So we're gonna see if it even picks up on the scale for that weight. I bet it registers something. There you go, point 0.020023. So, oh well, damn it! I guess I should put it where you can see it. 0.023. You see, it looks like a lot more whenever it's not sitting on the pan, when it's spread out in the pan, or once you dump it on the paper, it seems like it's a lot less. But hey, that's, like I said, I believe that is just our naturally occurring gold that was in this material, and you know, very cool. So yeah, probably actually 2.0 because of the little bit of darkness in there. But we will go ahead, and there is that is our Vendetta gold bottle there. You can see there's a nice chunk of quartz of specimen gold with the gold in it, with the rock that's in that batch. But I've got a vial of very fine Vendetta gold, his crystallized gold, and then I got this from our other stuff. But we're just going to go ahead and add this little bit that we got to our regular Vendetta bottle here. And there we go. And the hoard grows. So there we have it. Nice little bottle of Vendetta building up there. Of course, the bulk of it is in that big chunk right there on our display that's always out for our big almost 5 gram Vendetta nugget. See, again, I don't know why my camera keeps, I'm having so much trouble with the zoom on this thing lately, or the clarity of it. But that was our 1 gram minimum nugget that we'd gotten off of his other jar that he'd put out, the little jar. So then we've got our silver, and look at that pile of silver. And I can have to say we have lost a little bit from what we had at the end of the video yesterday. I got done. Set it over, had it in my green pan, set it over to be to dry. I came in the house. I was in here for about 15 minutes. I look out the window and I see my pan is not sitting on the tray anymore. I mean, on the little white stand anymore out in the sun. It had blown off. And all this silver went into the St. Augustine. And if y'all know anything about St. Augustine, that shit's in layers. And I figured, man, I am not going to be able to recover the majority of this because it's going to... And my yard, like I've told y'all before, is basically a rock bed, a white rock, driveway that has grown over with grass. So once you get past the St. Augustine, then you've got the rocks that are stacked up that push it down into it. So, yeah, it was... actually, there's still some... Looks like some little flakes of pieces of dirt out of the yard that I didn't wet this stuff down and wash it again. I probably should have done that before I did this. I didn't even think about that. But I mean, as you can see right there, I recovered an incredible amount of very, very fine pieces. The bulk of what we had, I did get back. I spent an hour laying on my belly, face down in the grass, picking all those, every little speck that you see of silver had been dumped. And over about a 1 by 2 foot area of St. Augustine. So the bigger pieces I was able to recover pretty easily, but it was all those little fine. And like I said, St. Augustine grows in runners and in layers. So you'd pull back a runner to try to check it out, to get to it, to look for it, and you'd just push more of it down into the ground. So like I said, it was a nightmare. And yeah. Like I said, I would never do that with gold, leave gold sitting out like that. I did it on the silver just to dry it up quick in the sun. And I wasn't even thinking about, usually it's the weight of the dirt that keeps my pans from, ever blowing over, I guess, whenever I'm just drying out my material. But like I said, I would never have a pan sitting out with gold in it anyway. But, so yeah, that was the big silver dump. And like I said, it's pretty incredible when you look at what we have in this, that what I was able to recover back out of the... I mean, even that like that little tiny speck right there was one I picked out of the grass. So let's zero out and see what our remaining weight is, because I guarantee you there's some gram weightage on this thing. This was a good amount. There you go, 6.27 grams of this silver. So just a little bit below a quarter of an ounce. So 2.274, and we do have our, where is it? There is our Vendetta silver. I was able to finally open the jar and put it in my bigger vial here. So that's the last order of Vendetta silver that I got in from him, that beautiful stuff that he grew. So we will add this to that and have an even bigger. So I'm guessing that this stuff is probably a lot of the smaller flakes and stuff that he had when he made up when he was cleaning out his actually, let's not do that so that we dump any more than we already have dumped. But oh, just like that, throwing pieces in the sink. Yeah, there probably was a ton of scrap stuff that he had when he was, from where he was making it up, his vials and stuff. So perfect stuff to throw in for a cool Patreon bag. And like I said, this was, I spent a couple hours working this. Man, I'm still slopping the stuff around. I'm seeing little black pieces in there. I spent a couple hours going through this stuff, getting this bag out. So this was really a challenging pay dirt bag with yeah, see, that's like a little bit of mud that's still stuck onto it from where I was digging it out of the ground. That's all right. We're just gonna make sure it's all gets in here together. And when I put it in the pay dirt, it doesn't matter if there's any dirt in it. It'll blend right in. So there we have it. Like I said, a great Patreon bag to get. I had not done any silver before like that, and adds to our silver vial. If y'all want to get some of this, Mike is, I don't know if I think he still has some in stock. I haven't looked in this week on there, but he still had some of his last batch, I believe. But like I said, this silver is some of the highest quality that I've seen, I was buying some online from someone else, but you just, for what you get from him and those nice pieces, that's premium silver that goes for a higher cost than even regular silver chunks when you get those nice long chunks and pieces and stuff like that. So beautiful stuff. A little gold extra to just for good measure in it. And like I said, I'm real happy with that. So thank you so much, Mike, for that. Thank you for watching the very first episode of a very first edition of the Vendetta Gazette Monthly. Like I said, we will be doing this once a month when we get our Patreon bag. And I am not sponsored in any way by Vendetta, for Vendetta, or with Vendetta. This is just strictly independent, showing what we get, and give you all an idea and something fun to do. So, and like I said, these will be done in editions rather than episodes. I only count episodes on my gold reviews on my channel. All the other videos are just videos, and then these are going to be called, like I said, like a newspaper edition would be for the Vendetta Gazette. So, till the next edition, thank you all for watching, and like I said, think about signing up with the Vendetta Patreon, because you get the bonuses and you're supporting a great channel and a great guy, and like I said, it's worth it before you even throw in the extras on the stuff, just to support the channel. So, thank you all again. Like I said, they're going to be shorter. This one went a little long, and we'll cut it down on the next one. So till the next time, once again, thank you all so much.